creating a collaborative project team environment. Now, the projects are usually done by people. You need various skills, various types of individuals to get the project objective done. If they do not collaborate well, it is very difficult to achieve the project success. There was an old time when one person can drive the project success by allocating work to others, but nowadays project involves complex work and usually can only be achieved when we have a collaborative project team environment. Now, let us look at the statement from the guide and then we elaborate this particular principle in little bit more detail. Again, we want to keep the principle at a higher level, at a level so that depending upon the project environment, we can interpret and we can drive our own mechanism of achieving the collaboration. So, project teams are made up of individuals who are wield diverse skill, knowledge and experience. Project teams that work collaboratively can accomplish shared objective more efficiently, effectively than individual working on their own. So, that is a pretty much understandable. So, we can say if this is a project environment and we have various team members working into it, in a complex project the number of people could be around 50, 100 depending upon the size and complexity. Now, these individuals should have a mechanism to interact, apply their skills, apply their knowledge, apply their experience in such a manner so that they sum up together, they create a collaborative outcome, and that is where we will be able to achieve our project objectives. So, this is a team which is working together producing the collaborative result. Now, your organizational environment, even the external environment, may also influence how and what the teams are doing. So, there is always an influence coming in, your organization culture is also influencing your team culture. But at the same time, there will be a distinct local culture which will be created by you and your team, which will help them in creating more collaborative environment. So, here we are exploring that these individuals who are coming up with the different skills are coming together and helping us in achieving the project objective. Now, what has been agreed and understood is that we need to focus on the whole team rather than saying that one individual working alone can help me in achieving it. That way of working is not promoted in the today's project management environment. Now, in order to achieve a collaborative work environment, there could be various contributing factors. We can take help from various areas to create a collaborative environment. The three contributing factors which are explained at a higher level in your guide, I am taking them so that we create a one level of understanding of these areas. So, one of the contributing factors which is discussed is the team agreement. Many of you will learn about the term called working agreement, team charters and many other things. So, when the project teams are coming together here, we need to make sure that they have some agreement about how they work in this environment, the expected behavior, the norms, the basic ground rules for working together in this particular space. So, team agreement help us in creating that particular basic infrastructure or a platform on which we will operate. Usually, this is facilitated by project leaders initially, and the team agreements can be reflected as we go along. So, which means the team agreements can evolve over a period of time. Now, the counter approach would be that one person telling them what to do, what not to do, which is not going to work in a today's project environment. So, we should focus on the people should come together and agree on how are we going to achieve our project objective, and that is something they are listing out or they are agreeing in the process of team agreement. Usually these team agreement get reflected upon. Sometimes you call it lesson learned meeting or retrospective meetings, where we see which kind of agreements are productive, which kind of agreement, which areas are still lacking, and based on that you may want to strengthen your team agreements. The another important thing which plays a role in creating a collaborative work environment is organization structure of your team. So, you have a multiple people, you need to have a mechanism so that their effort get synchronized, because if they are lacking information exchange, if there is no mechanism of clearly identifying who does what and mechanism of integrating their work, then we will not be able to produce collaborative result. So, organization structure is something, is a tool which we use to facilitate collaboration and information exchange in order to achieve project objectives. So, you can have a various ways of creating organization structure. It could be based on roles and responsibility, so people are clear what they have to do. It could be based on some hierarchical structure. It could be based on some information exchange mechanism, like once in a week we come together, we discuss it, and based on what we agree, we do the work. So, there could be various ways of creating that collaborative environment, but in a given project we need to find out what kind of a structure will be useful for us. Usually the structure helps us in understanding roles and responsibility, the process of doing things and sharing information. That is the organization structure. Process. So, actually these two things are leading to an understanding of a process. So, it is like process of identifying work, process of communicating things, process of integrating work, process of validating work, process of taking decisions, process of taking agreements, all are part of our environment creation process, which helps us in creating collaborative environment. So, team agreement is a first kind of initial process which you are coming up with. Then organization structure will become like a backbone for the whole process. Now, when you get into a process element, you get into the details. Again, the process, agreements, even the structure are evolutionary in nature. As you learn something is working or something is not working in your project environment, you should be reflecting and changing them. Now, overall goal is we need to create a collaborative work environment for our team so that they can achieve our project objective. So, project team should be having good amount of collaboration. Now, we spoke about local culture. So, in this particular principle in your content, you will find that there are other factors. There are 4 areas which has been stressed upon, which can help us in creating better culture for the team collaboration and deliveries. So, here some of the elements, again they are limited elements. There are many things like team assessments and feedbacks and team development models and other things. They will come over a course of time, but here at a very high level we are saying that clarity of roles and responsibility helps us in creating a collaborative local culture. People should know who is expected to do what. Many times these roles and responsibilities are also explained with the help of authority, accountability and responsibility. So, authority is about who is authorized to do what kind of a decision can be made by whom. That is the clarity of that is an authority. Roles and accountability, many times responsibility and accountability many times confuses people. Accountability is all about who owns the outcome, whereas responsibility is all about who is executing and getting things done. So, having the clarity of roles and responsibility, and again these are not a one-time clarities, they can evolve over a period of time, but that helps us in creating the better collaborative local culture. Diversity, it has been communicated many times in a project management space nowadays that we should promote diversity, which means in a given project team, you should involve your vendor stakeholders as well, subject matters as well, some of the external stakeholders as well, so that we get a diversified view which helps us in achieving project objective. We should avoid creating a similar thinking people coming together as a one team, because if you have that, they will not be able to see the areas which are missed by one thought. Yeah, when you have a diversity, you can find out creative solution, and that can also help us in creating better satisfactory result for our project stakeholder, because your project stakeholders are probably going to be diversified. So, better you also keep your team also diversified. Practices, standards and some ethical codes. So, it is an extension or a kind of a supporting of your teaming agreement. Many times in the organization space, you have to follow organization ethics. It is good idea if you can create a further elaborated ethics or some practice standard for your own team. Yeah, that helps them in giving and getting a better understanding of what is a desired behavior, what is a desired conduct, what is appreciated conduct, what is not. Yeah, so that is something which helps you in moving forward. Free exchange of information. In order to create a better culture, the people who are working here, they should be able to communicate well with each other. Yeah? And we should promote a transparent and open communication which helps us in identifying the issues early and often, so that the right people can get the information and they can help us in resolving it. So as a project leaders, we need to create a free exchange of information in our project. Again, you may need to take care of your compliance and other needs as well, but in general, adaptability will vary based on your context, but we should promote as much as free exchange of information possible, which also leads to a better knowledge sharing, better collaborating with each other, solving each other's problem, and sometimes going beyond your roles and responsibility. When I have a free information exchange, I may know that there is an area which I can do, but it is not part of my roles and responsibility as of now. I might want to contribute there and go beyond my roles and responsibility. Many times if we stick to one element, this may create another silos. But with the help of free exchange of information, by help of collaboration and frequent interaction, we produce a collaborative team environment which helps us in producing the better result. So in today's project management world, the collaboration is the key, and we should always assume that these team members are more knowledgeable, more expert in their domain area than the project leader. So if you are looking this particular principle from the view of a project manager, I should assume that people here are expert. They know far better in their area than me as a project manager. Now, in order to get a best project deliverables done, I can't tell them what to do because they know more than me. But I am there to play a role as an instrumental role to ensure that they have a free and open communication happening. The information is getting exchanged in such a way, the work is getting planned and like shared in such a way with the help of a processes which ensures that everybody's energy is coming together in order to produce the project deliverable. So facilitating that interaction, ensuring that we have an open and collaborative environment to produce the project result is my primary responsibility over telling them what to do. So I should be working to create collaborative project team environment.